Hey there, Chef D Malfi here, and welcome to Plant-Based Made Easy. Here, back for another month. I'm really excited because it's April, and that means we're in quarter 2 of 2021. We're chugging along. And you guys, I have to tell you, it has been really challenging. I come here on the show every single time, and I wear a big fat smile, but sometimes I just need a reminder that I got this because sometimes I don't feel like I've got this. So I'm full disclosure, I'm wearing my I got this shirt today because life has felt challenging. Even in this moment of springtime and the sun is shining, there's a lot of transition still happening in the world. And there's a lot of transitioning still happening in my internal landscape and for my personal life. And so I just first want to say, I am so grateful to be here. And thank you so much for sharing this afternoon with me. It always really feels very life-giving for me to get on the live stream and to do another episode of Plant-Based Made Easy, especially when I'm not feeling my best. So if you're with me and you need a little reminder today that you've got this, you've got this, all right? Just keep looking at my shirt if you need that reminder. So you guys, we're back in the studio today for the start of April. The reason I wanted to get on the stream today is to celebrate the release of our newest cookbook, cookbook issue number 9 in the house, you guys. We've written 9 cookbooks and I've published 9 cookbooks, one a month, every single month here at Plant-Based Made Easy since I've been doing this show. And I'm really excited because this has really become an awesome experience, not just for me to provide to you, but I think for you as well. Now, you guys know, if you don't already know, let me tell you, you can buy my cookbooks one-offs. You can buy any issue that you want. Let's say issue 6 appeals to you, maybe issue 7, 8, or 9. It doesn't matter. 1 through 9 are available right now. But did you know you can also purchase a cookbook membership where you can get a new cookbook sent right to your inbox every single month? So if you want the cookbook membership, which I highly recommend opting in for, you can get my cookbooks for 20% less money if you opt in for just $10 a month, and you will get to be a cookbook monthly member. All right. So I put the link right there in the chat box. And if you have any questions along the way about going plant-based, about eating plant-based, or about any of the recipes, or really anything whatsoever, please let a sister know. And you can put it in the comment box. You can email me, however you want to get in touch with me. I'm here for you. I'm here to serve you. I created this community for you. Seriously, I wanted this to be a really fun experience, show, educational community for people to come together and be together who live and honor and commit to the plant-based lifestyle. So here we are. And today is Testimony Tuesday. So if you've never seen one of our Tuesday shows, know that every single Tuesday, I bring someone on the show to feature their plant-based story. And today is a very special day because I have someone very special to me on the line with me. You guys, we are going to get to hear from my mom, the one and only Roberta B. I am so excited that my mom is here with me. She's been asking me, Daniela, when can I come on the live stream with you? I want to come and do Plant-Based Made Easy Testimony Tuesday. I want to share my story. And I think one of the reasons my mom is so inspired is because her and I and some other family members all went plant-based together. And so it's been a wonderful journey, not just for us here in the community, but me and my family as well. So you're going to hear from my mom, and I'm so excited. But before we get into my mom and her story, I just want to share with you the current cookbook. And I'm going to just go ahead and share the screen. You can see here on the screen is the current cookbook, you guys. So we are working out of issue number 9. That's this issue right here. And you can see that we has a beautiful cover photo of a mushroom toast. This is one of our favorite snack recipes, I would say, that I've created here at Plant-Based Made Easy. But if you've never purchased one of my cookbooks, here is the inside scoop. I'm going to go through it really quickly. I do write you a love letter every single month. That's at the very beginning. You can read that if you want. And then I give you a weekly recipe key. And this is going to showcase all the color coordination that I use. So I provide in these recipe books, these cookbooks, a month of recipes for you. So breakfasts, lunches, dinners, snacks, sweets, and staple recipes. And today I'm going to be featuring a staple recipe. I'm going to be making with you plant-based yogurt. You also see a calendar menu tool. And the reason I call it a calendar menu tool is because I have removed the dates and I've added these boxes here so that you can actually add dates that you want to prepare these dishes. You can also just use this as a checkoff tool for when you actually cook these recipes. And you can actually get through the month and keep yourself really easy. And this is a wonderful tool for meal planning and prepping. And then you'll see week by week, we go through it. Again, it's breakfast, lunch, dinner, a snack recipe, and then a sweet recipe, followed by your staple. And today we're working on plant-based yogurt. I really love this cookbook, you guys, and I'm not just saying that because I created it, but I love it because it comes with even more of tools than you'd ever really expect out of a cookbook, including this. This is a reflections and realizations page. It's really your journal entry. And you can actually go through the recipes, cook the food, and then decide what were the meals you made, what was the dates that you made them, how do you feel, what was your mood, and then answer some of the questions here. Describe how you felt before, during, and after cooking the foods. What made you feel this way? And the reason I include this is to really give you kind of the inside scoop into your inside landscape so that you know what's working for you, what's not working for you, what you enjoyed with the recipes, how you adapted it to make them your own. And so really, you're going to get a ton of value. If you purchase this cookbook as a member, it's really so super duper cheap when you break it down per day. So you're really going to get a lot of support throughout the month to go plant-based. All right, so that's my little sales pitch. I got to do it, right? Because I love to showcase what I'm actually working on, and I want you guys to have the information. So like I said, if you want to purchase this cookbook, the links are here for you. All right, you guys. So without further ado, I'm going to bring my mom on the line and let's give her a lot of love, you guys. So welcome to the show, the one, the only, Roberta, my mother, adding to the live stream. Hi, Mom.
Hi, Dee.
Good to see you. Thanks for coming on, Mom. I know this was a bit last minute, but you pulled it together. You look beautiful, by the way.
Thank you. Thank you.
You look beautiful as always.
Yeah,
You're really,
I'm excited to be here.
Yeah, I know you are, because you really wanted to come and you wanted to share your story. And I know you did because we did this together. But I have to just tell you, my mom has been the cheerleader of plant-based / veganism, better cheerleader and bigger cheerleader than I've ever seen, experienced, known, ever, by far. So if you want to gab about plant-based eating and living, you guys can connect with my mom because she's a part of the Plant-Based Made Easy Facebook group. Oh, and we got a lot of love for you, Mom. We see Cheryl Baker's giving you claps, Marie Montoya, and then from our sister Adriana, she says, "Hi, Grandma." So cool. Thanks for being here, Ray Ray. All right. Well, I want to get us kicked off with a question for you, Mom. This is for you. I'm super excited about, you wanting to go plant-based with me. And I wanted to know, initially, what inspired you to want to make this commitment? Will you kind of share your story, the beginning of it?
Yeah, thank you for asking that because initially, again, I'm a supporter, always a supporter of anything that you do, and especially your food. Oh my gosh, your food is so yummy. And so, Steve and I went on your show when you started this whole project because we were curious, but we weren't committed. We were just curious. It's like putting your toe in a water, and it was suddenly amazing when I started tasting the food. I was like, wow, this is really good. Now, and I know some people out there in the audience might know this, that I don't like to cook. In fact, I was not a strong person in the kitchen for your years of growing up. In fact, you always say that this is why you became a chef out of desperation. I make a mean salad. So I was really kind of hesitant because I didn't know if I could pull this off with my, little skills that I did have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now look at you. You are preparing gourmet meals almost
I
every
can't
single
believe
night.
it.
I can't believe it. Nobody can. No, you guys, seriously. Okay, so here's my perspective. My mom, she worked a ton when I was growing up. My mom was a labor and delivery nurse, oftentimes worked the overnight shift. So really, I spent a lot of time with my stepdad, Stevie, and my stepmom, Rosie, and my dad. And you guys will see them. All of my family comes on the Plant-Based Made Easy show. Hopefully they'll all come and share their story. But as a kid, it was like I became really obsessed with food because it wasn't really kind of something that my mom loved to do. And Mom, you always say this. You always felt kind of stressed out in the kitchen. Is that right?
Oh my gosh. I'm still a little bit cumbersome when it comes to recipes.
Sure.
But one
Okay.
of the things I got to say, your recipes are so easy. I cannot tell you. They're made for me. Maybe you had me in mind. I'm not sure, but they are the easiest thing to follow. So I'm glad for that.
Yeah, you've said that before, and I really did have you in mind because I wanted to create something for people like you. And ta-da, I did, right? Like I feel
Right.
like a lot of the people in our community are just like you. They wanted to go plant-based, or maybe they knew about it and they dipped their toe in. Maybe they were overwhelmed with cooking, and and so I had you in mind, and I wanted to make it simple. And I'm so glad to hear that it is simple and that it's made cooking really fun for you. So
Oh my gosh.
bravo, Mom. You're
Thank
amazing.
thank you. Thank you. Yeah, and then suddenly when you start eliminating the bad, I would say the food that wasn't so healthy. I mean, let me
Sure.
back up here. Steve and I were at a place in our life and we retired and we were aging, right? I'm 65. And so I
Yeah.
wanted to look at some kind of eating style that was going to be healthier for my body. And
Yep.
so this made sense to me once I started eliminating the foods that were giving me problems. Like,
Yep.
okay, I would get like I would get, a little bit of GI disturbances or
Sure.
constipation or whatever when I was eating the old way. And so now I can't believe the difference. I've always been a weight loss person. Like I've always looked at, you know, weight loss plans. And lo and behold, I have lost weight on this without even counting calories. So it's like crazy. It's crazy. So this has been an evolution for me over the year, an evolution for Steve over the year, and also um, my taste buds have changed. Suddenly, the food is so tasty. I cannot believe it. It's like unbelievable. So it's just crazy what happens.
It's crazy to me too. I didn't think that I would sort of like love it as much as you loved it, because I've been cooking my whole life. But I'm right there with you. Like my taste buds have changed. I've noticed that I really kind of love cooking now way more than I ever did before. So I think that you're sharing that bit of your story and it resonates with me. How many people on the line does this resonate with? Like are you finding that it's easier for you, that you actually like cooking and you like food more? If this is the way that you're feeling, type yes in the comment box, because I want to know that this is something that resonates with you as well. Because I think it's something way beyond just you and I, Mom, and our family. I think this is something that everyone feels when they make this transition, when they commit to this lifestyle. So that's so cool. All right, so I'm gonna break away from interviewing you for a second, and I'm gonna
Okay,
actually make some yogurt for you, Mom, because
which I
you
can't
really
wait.
like this.
Yeah.
You're gonna like this. You haven't tried this recipe yet, have you, Mom?
No, because I have been looking up whether you have to. I didn't want to put it in the oven, and
Sure.
so
Okay.
I have an Instapot. That's one of the tools that I use to make my life easier. And
Yes.
there's a yogurt button on it. So I've been looking forward for you to create this recipe today, so I can watch it. And
Great.
they say just put it in your Instapot and put the yogurt thing on, and when you got it.
Totally. Okay, I wanted to do the plant-based yogurt recipe today on your show. This actually worked out a lot better, Mom, because it's so simple that you and I can get back to talking really quick. So I'm going to make this really easy. Here's what you do, you guys, okay? So first things first, you need to soak your nuts or your seeds, and you can use any nut or seed, believe it or not, to make plant-based yogurt. That's the cool thing about plant-based foods and recipes, is that we have so many more options when we go plant-based as opposed to when we're eating animals. Because think about it, how many different types of chicken is there? Or how many different types of,
Mhm,
butter is there? Only one
mhm.
kind. With plant-based milks and cheeses and yogurt and all different types of recipes for plant-based proteins and spices, the choice is up to you. You have limitless possibilities. So that's the first thing that people kind of remember, or I guess appreciate when they go plant-based, is that there's a lot more options. So first things first, you want to soak your nuts. Now, in the recipe that I give you in my cookbook, you guys, by the way, this recipe is available in any cookbook because it's a staple recipe. It means it's going to be something you're going to make again and again. This recipe I actually make with cashews, but recently I've adapted it for coconut, and I absolutely love
Oh,
either or. So today I'm going to show you the coconut version, but you're going to take a jar just like this, and I love these glass jars. If you want a link to these glass jars, you guys, I'll put a link to my Amazon storefront so you can shop there if you want. These are great for smoothies. You can bring them into your car. They fit in your cup holder, so they're really great. They're also BPA free. They come with a BPA free lid, and this is going to be perfect for soaking your nuts. So you want to add to this some coconut. Now, today I'm going to use Melissa's Produce coconut, and I'm going to bring in my overhead cam just so you can see. And you can see my cutting board. Now I'm going to use Melissa's Produce coconut chips. These are really great, unsweetened, delicious, yummy, yummy. You can use shredded coconut too, either or. And this Plant-Based Made Easy is brought to you by Melissa's Produce. They are the ones that give us all of the delicious produce for our episodes. So I'm really grateful for you, Melissa. Thank you so much. So you can see that I soaked my coconut ahead of time. All right. So you can see in the overhead, I'm going to show you in the overhead as well as the front cam. And this is just in some water. So it's 1 cup of any nuts or seeds to some water. And you want to soak this for a minimum of 4 hours. Now, if you're using cashews, I recommend you want to actually drain the water out and then use fresh water for your yogurt. But if you're using coconut, you can use the water. And that has to do with the phytic acid. And honestly, I've tested this out. There's no difference for me. I don't get a reaction. So some people get a bellyache from using the net water. I don't. So you can test it out and see if you need to actually use your soaking liquid or if you want to use fresh water. Now you want to get a high-speed blender. I'm using a Vitamix. This is also in my Amazon shop in case you're wondering. And this is the soaked nuts. I'm going to pour it right into my blender. And I want about 1 1/4 or 1.5 cups of water with my nuts. So I'm just going to take a look. The reason I love the Vitamix is it has a measuring unit right on the side. So I'm already at 1.5 cups of water, so I don't need anything more. And you can see it's nice and liquidy, right? So now here's the thing, just 2 more ingredients, you guys, and we are almost at yogurt. So we need obviously a probiotic. So this is what makes yogurt yogurt. It's the active bacteria cultures within. So I'm going to use anything that has anywhere between 12 and 30 billion CFUs or strains of bacteria. Okay. This is my favorite, the Multidophilus, because it has 12 strains, and 12 is my lucky number. That's seriously the only reason why I buy it. Okay. So I'm going to use 2 probiotic capsules. Try to stick to 2. If you're making this for kids, then 2 is appropriate. Do not add any more than that if you're making it for kids. But if you are making it for adults and you want a little bit more of the probiotic punch, you can use up to 4 probiotic capsules in your yogurt. Now, you guys, all I do is I take my probiotic capsule and I pour it right in. That's it. All right. The actual outside of the capsule, I'll get thrown away. And I just dump it right in. All right. It's just powder. You can sometimes find probiotics loose, but it's harder to find. So if you can find it, great. If you can't, the capsules work just fine. Now, the last thing that we need is some sort of thickening agent. Because this is plant-based yogurt, we are going to use psyllium husk. All right. So this is organic psyllium husk powder. And what it actually is this pure insoluble fiber. That's all it is. So really what it does is it enters our mouth, goes through our intestinal tract, and it sort of tickles our intestinal tract along the way and stirs things up and makes us have a great digestive tract. All right. So that's all you need to know. But what it does for the actual recipe is that it thickens things without the use of any, obviously, cream or any dairy or even starch. All right. So this is really nice because it's all beautiful fiber, perfect for our gut microbiome. You can find this on my Amazon shop as well. And I'm just going to use a 1/2 teaspoon. You want to level this off. It has no flavor and it almost has no color. I'll show you. Mom, you have a little bit of this at home, right?
Right. Yeah. I've been waiting to see, because I didn't know if that's it.
That's it. Just 1/2 teaspoon. So this bag, you guys, is 12 ounces. And it's going to last you a long time. I make this yogurt once a week. And so this bag, my guess is this bag is going to last me like 18 months. Okay. And it's shelf stable. It just sits in your pantry. So simple. People are always like, there's no way I can make plant-based cheese or milk or yogurt. There is a way, friends. I'm telling you, it's so easy. You don't even realize how easy it is until you try it once and you're like, oh my gosh. So I'm just going to pull this up to show you. I'm going to turn my blender on and I'm just going to blend it until it's nice and smooth. Now, the Vitamix is so cool, you guys, because it just takes a few seconds, right? Like that didn't take long at all. So I'm just going to lift it up and I just want to see, is this blended to my liking? Now, for me, this is perfect. You see how creamy and delicious? It already looks like yogurt, right?
Right. Wow.
Really super duper simple. Now you can make it as creamy as you want. You can let this go for a lot longer, but this works for me. Honestly, I kind of like the texture too, so I don't go all the way blended. I kind of like having a little bit of that texture variation of I can taste the coconut just a bit, but you can go completely smooth if you want.
Hey, Dee, can I ask you a
Yeah,
question? If you wanted
please.
to add some berries in there, is that
Oh,
can you do that before it's processed?
really good question. You can't do it before it's processed. So you have to actually ferment yogurt completely plain. All right. Now, the reason for that is, well, you can probably imagine that when we ferment something, we're literally growing bacteria slowly. And so if you add any other ingredients to this, especially if it has sugar, then what's going to happen is the fermentation is going to actually really be depleted from the coconut mush, the coconut and water mixture. It's going to
Hmm.
actually kind of spend less time fermenting the coconut water mixture and more time fermenting the sugar in the berries. Or let's say you wanted to add maple syrup or agave nectar. You want to keep all of that out. You really want to make yogurt plain, and then you can add your flavorings at the end. All right.
Thank you.
So, and it's really easy to add your flavorings at the end too. So it's
Sure.
make it simple for yourself, keep it plain. I will say though, you can change the consistency. So if you wanted this to be more like Greek yogurt, use just a cup of water or a cup and a quarter. If you wanted it to be
Okay.
more like farmer's yogurt, like more like loose, you can add a cup and a half. Okay. So I like my yogurt a little bit more loose. Now I have a mason jar here, you guys. It's just a Knorr mason jar, wide mouth. And I love this. This has been sterilized, meaning it's gone through the dishwasher. And I'm going to pour my yogurt mixture right in, scoop it all out. And I'm using my favorite Zule spatula. These are jar scrapers. So do you see that it's really long and it scrapes along the edge of a blade and it doesn't actually get nicked or cut. So if you want these are also on my Amazon shop. I love just promoting my favorite products too, you guys. I do make a small commission on Amazon, but it's not very much. I'm really doing this though because I want you guys. So many people ask me, Chef, what do you use? What's your favorite spatula? Or what's your favorite blender? I want you to have the products that I have if you're curious, because it just makes plant-based eating easier. All right, that's it. Now, here's the thing. You want to then set your oven temperature to the lowest setting. Now, if you're using a convection oven, usually the lowest setting is 110 degrees. If you're using a home oven, the lowest setting is going to be 170 degrees. Okay, so I'm going to actually use my I'm going to use my regular oven. Going to set the temperature, let it preheat to 170, and then you're going to turn the oven off. And then you're going to take this jar and place it right in your oven. Okay. And it's going to go to bed and it's going to sit there in a heated oven that is no longer on. Following me? Yes. For 12 hours. Okay. That's how you make yogurt. So simple. Now you can go ahead and ferment this for a minimum of 12 hours. That's going to give you a mild tang and a loose yogurt. 18-hour ferment is going to give you a little bit more of a tang and a thicker yogurt. And a 24-hour ferment, leaving it in the oven for 24 hours, is going to give you like a Greek yogurt style, super creamy, super tangy. All right. So the choice is yours. You can make it different every single time. And I really like to do that.
Wow, I can't believe it. So I've been buying those coconut yogurts, and what are they,
Yeah.
like $5 for like 4 ounces? And that you
Yes.
you blow through it like so quickly. This is going to be like, I can't believe the amount that you're making right there.
Yeah, I'm making about, with this recipe, it gives you just about a cup and a half. And it is going to be a lot more cost effective. So this, I don't know the cost per cost. I should actually calculate that. But the cocoa that you're talking about is a 5-ounce jar, usually for $5 each. Okay. So that means you're paying $1
Ah,
per ounce. And that is very expensive over time, especially if you're eating 1 cup of yogurt a day, which is going to be about, 1 container. So you can save yourself, it's pennies on the dollar if you make it yourself. And there aren't going to be any like hidden ingredients like shelf stabilizers. And you can really control all of the tang and the consistency.
can't
We have a
believe
question
it.
here from Cheryl Baker. She says, my oven temperature does not go that low, so not sure if I get it too warm or not warm enough. My 360 oven light does not stay on without the oven on. Okay, so it's okay, Cheryl. You want to just get it to the lowest temperature it can go to and then turn off the oven. And the cool thing about it is if you have an oven light, better yet, to turn your oven light on as soon as the yogurt goes into the oven, because the oven light is going to give you a little bit of that residual heat. All right. So whatever you can do to make this, yes, you can make a double batch, Marie, but it doesn't turn out as well because the fermentation time changes. So I highly recommend make just a one-time batch, and it will be really great. I don't know if you can use the dehydrator, Cindy. That's a really great question. I don't think that this would work in a dehydrator. It may, and you should try and let us know. And then in terms of the Instapot, you can absolutely do this in the Instapot, and it
Yeah.
doesn't take 12, 18 hours. I don't even know how long. I think it's probably just a few hours, if that.
No, I think when I looked it up, in the Instapot, it takes a good number, like over 10 hours, depending
Over
on the
10.
consistency. Yeah, the consistency that you want. But I have to look up that. I looked up that cooking time at one point because I was like, oh man, I can make the yogurt because my oven doesn't go that low as well.
Yeah.
So
You guys also, I've sometimes used my convection oven. So if you have a little toaster oven, convection oven, you can use this as well. Some of you have those at home. So I just want to say, I used to make it completely in here, and this goes right to 110 degrees, which is proper fermentation temperature. But like I said, you guys, this is not rocket science. So a lot of the ovens are not going to go down to 170, and that's okay. Just get it to that lowest temp and then turn it off. And eventually the fermentation literally will kind of match the heat, and it will work itself out. It's kind of the way that yogurt used to be made is just putting your yogurt in a cupboard for about 5 days, and the natural kind of like heat
wow,
and hot and cold will create that natural fermentation pattern. So
amazing,
yeah.
amazing.
So Mom, I want to ask you another question while my yogurt is fermenting, and I'm going to actually get a bowl of yogurt together. I want to know, what are the benefits that you've seen since committing to or the best benefit, the most amazing benefit that you've witnessed in your own body or your own life with your own family? Anything you want to say about that in your
Well,
for your personal story?
yeah, thank you. I think definitely the way I feel, number one, I cannot
Yep.
believe how much energy I have. How people say I look younger, my skin looks radiant, my hair looks great.
Yeah.
I've lost weight. My tummy doesn't ache anymore. And I
Yeah.
don't have, I used to take Metamucil all the time, every single day. I don't have to do that anymore. And so my
Yeah.
digestion is totally changed. When I go on vacation, if I'm not 100%, like I would say I'm not 100% whole food plant-based, but I'm about 85% whole food plant-based. And when I'm not doing that, I'm just doing a vegan diet. Sometimes my tummy starts to act up and I start to crave going back to eating my normal, healthy, whole food plant-based kind of eating style.
Okay,
Yeah.
so Mom, what is whole food plant-based? Will you explain that for the listeners that are listening in that may not know the difference?
So in my mind, it's anything that grows from the ground.
Yeah.
And no, I use minimal amounts of oil,
Okay.
minimal amounts of salt, and I don't have any sugar, but I'll have like maple syrup or dates, that kind of thing. I try to avoid it, but it's the oil that for me, because I wasn't losing weight right away and I couldn't figure out,
Yeah.
I'm eating well, I'm eating a vegan diet. What the heck happened? And so
Yeah.
when I started looking up and reading about Dr. McDougall is from the Starch Solution, they talked about fat.
Yes.
And so I started eliminating my fat, and lo and behold, oh my gosh, my weight started to come off.
Yep.
And so that's how I eat now. I try to really limit my fat and try not to, like, if I'm going to salt something, I just kind of lightly sprinkle it on my food, try not to
Yeah.
oversalt, and I definitely don't use sugar.
So no oil, no salt, no sugar. That's really great. And I wanted to ask you too, because everyone has their own interpretation of what is whole food plant-based for them.
Right,
But thank you so much for answering that. I love to hear that.
right, right.
This is cool. I'm so glad that you don't have tummy aches anymore. I'm so glad that you're feeling a lot better. I know that it's
Hmm.
all because of your commitment to this, and I think it's just amazing what you're able to commit to and how you've been able to sort of stick with it. I think I've seen you in our life kind of do different things and try different ways of eating and committing to being healthy, but I feel like this is the one that you like the most. Is that fair to say?
Absolutely, and it's so funny because when we travel up north to see, your sisters and the
Yeah,
family and the grandkids, people actually they're asking me, "Go ahead and cook the way you normally cook because we really, really enjoy it."
because it's so
And
good.
so
Yeah.
hopefully starting to help people make this transition.
Yes. See, I told you, cheerleader. All right, you guys. So look at this. Yogurt is done, obviously, with the magic of this show. This is what it looks like.
Wow.
It is yummy. It's delicious. It doesn't really have a very coconut-y flavor, although there's some essence of it. When you make this with cashews, there really isn't any essence of cashew. So it really depends on what nuts and seeds you're choosing. And I'm just going to make a yogurt bowl really fast. You can use grapefruit. This is all from Melissa's, a delicious opal pear, an opal apple, a pear, an orange. I think you can also use some medjool dates. I like just some granola and some red walnut. So I'm going to do one side of granola. And then here, look at these beautiful red walnuts. Have you ever seen these?
Ooh.
Check these out. These are gorgeous. They're like ruby red. They're really beautiful. I'm going to just place these on. The walnuts are going to give extra fiber and protein. I'm going to feel good if I just kind of like, you know, enjoy this in the morning, maybe like a half a cup to a cup. You can use some hemp hearts for added protein. I think we've got enough though with the granola and the red walnuts. I might throw in some raisins or some dates. I just like to peel my date. The date will add just like natural sweetness. Peel it and kind of tear it off, whatever you want. And then if you want additional sweetness beyond the dates, you can, or the fruit that you choose, you can add maple syrup. So kind of make it your own, make it delicious. And I'm going to add a little maple syrup because why not? It makes it really yummy. And I just like the organic regular. And that's it, you guys. So yummy. Here is a delicious plant-based made easy yogurt bowl. Super easy, you guys. So try this recipe. Please try it because I know that you're going to love it as much as I do. And before we say goodbye to you, Mom, I just want to let you know that lots of people here are saying that you are inspiring so many people. You're amazing, Mom. You guys, let's give it up for my mom. Thank you so much. I'm giving you a little clap, Mom, because it's just you and I right now, but I know everyone is clapping in their home. Thank you for being part of our community and for being our best cheerleader. And if you have questions for me or my mom along the way, you guys can get in touch with us on this thread. You can just type in your comments right under this video. And you guys, these recipes and these videos are evergreen, meaning they never go away. For as long as Facebook is active and YouTube is active, these recipes and this content piece, this video will be available for you. So share it if you will. And thank you guys so much for sharing your afternoon with us. I hope to see you again this week. I'll be back in the studio. I'm not really sure which day, but you'll catch me for another recipe or two. And continue to keep your eyes and ears peeled. Purchase these cookbooks, you guys. Give yourself an amazing resource for healthy living. And we'll see you next time. Peace out. Bye, everyone.
Bye.